There comes a day when your dog no longer runs to the front door to greet you. Years ago, all it took was the sound of your car pulling into the driveway, or the jingle of your keys outside the door, and you could already hear the paws racing across the floor, the tail thumping against the wall, the excited barking. Then the moment you opened the door, they'd launch themselves toward you, as if you'd been gone for an entire year. But then, one day, without you even realizing it, everything changes. You open the door, the house is quiet, no paws rushing toward you, no joyful leaps, just an old dog slowly lifting its head. The tail still wags, just a little slower. They still want to greet you. They just can't make it as far as they used to. Most of us see this, smile gently and think, my dog is getting old. And we're right, but that's only what we can see. What your dog is actually experiencing may be something completely different. So when a dog enters the later years of life, what do they truly need the most? Better food? Better medicine? Or is there something far more important that many of us never even think about? Growing old feels different than we think. Growing old rarely happens all at once. It happens so gradually that neither you nor your dog notices it at first. One morning, they take a little longer to stand up. You think, they're probably just tired today. A few weeks later, they stop jumping onto the couch. You tell yourself, maybe they're just getting lazy. Then one afternoon, you throw the ball like you've done hundreds of times before. They still run after it, but only halfway, before quietly stopping, and for the first time, something suddenly hits you. It isn't that your dog has stopped loving the game. Their heart still wants to chase it. Their body simply can't keep up anymore. That's the part many people don't understand. Humans grow old by counting years. We celebrate birthdays. We think about the future. We worry about how much time we have left. Dogs don't. They don't wake up thinking, I'm 12 years old. They don't know this year is different from the last, and they certainly don't wonder how much time remains. They only know what today feels like. Today? Getting up takes a little more effort. Today, the stairs seem a little steeper. Today, their legs become tired much sooner. Their joints ache a little more. Their eyes don't catch every detail they once did. Their ears miss sounds they used to hear instantly. Even the incredible nose that once recognized your scent from far away may not be quite as sharp anymore. If we experienced those changes, many of us would feel frustrated or frightened. We might even mourn the life we used to have. But most aging dogs don't. They don't spend their days wishing they were young again. They simply adapt. They walk a little slower, they sleep a little longer, they rest a little more, and they quietly begin choosing the moments that are truly worth spending their energy on. So don't mistake a slower dog for a less joyful one. Your dog hasn't lost the love for life. They've simply learned something that many humans spend an entire lifetime trying to understand. Not every meaningful moment has to be exciting. Sometimes, the quietest moments become the ones that matter most. And perhaps, that's the very first lesson an aging dog is trying to teach us. Their world doesn't become smaller. When a dog gets older, their world begins to change. Years ago, that world was huge. It was the long road through the park, the ball flying across the yard, the sound of cars passing outside the gate, the scent of strangers on the sidewalk, every corner of the garden, every patch of grass, every tiny sound in the distance. But slowly, that world begins to shrink. Not because your dog stops loving life, but because their body no longer lets them go as far as before. The walks become shorter, the steps become harder. The yard becomes a place where they pause longer. Their soft bed becomes the safest place in the house. And sometimes, the most important place in their entire world is simply the space beside you. For a young dog, joy may look like running, jumping, chasing, exploring. But for an aging dog, joy may be lying somewhere they can hear your voice, smell your scent, and know that you are still nearby. Their world may become smaller in distance, but not in meaning. A familiar corner of the room can matter more than a wide-open park. A gentle hand on their back can mean more than a brand new toy. A quiet afternoon beside you can become the best adventure of their day. Because as dogs age, they don't need the world to become bigger. They need it to become easier to understand, less painful, less surprising, less noisy, more predictable, and safer. So when your dog gets older, don't only ask, what else can I give them? Ask something gentler. What can I make easier for them? Because sometimes love is not about adding more. Sometimes love is keeping the familiar things in place, so your dog can still feel that the world is home. What your aging dog needs most. There is a question many dog owners quietly ask themselves. What else can I do for them? And when we ask that question, we often think about big things: better food, a softer bed, new medicine, a toy they used to love. But maybe the thing your aging dog needs most is something you cannot buy: your presence. When a dog is young, they can spend the whole day exploring the world. But as they grow older, their world slowly becomes smaller. And inside that smaller world, you become the most familiar thing they know. The scent they recognize first, the voice that helps them settle, the footsteps they still wait for. Maybe you've noticed it. As your dog gets older, they may begin choosing to stay closer to you. Even when they sleep, they may choose a place where they can still hear you. Sometimes they simply look at you, not asking for food, not asking to play, not asking to go outside, just looking. Many people think that's just old age. But for an aging dog, being near the person they trust can make the world feel safer, especially when their senses are changing and their body no longer moves the way it used to. Just like humans, when the body becomes weaker, safety becomes more important than excitement. And the strange thing is, what comforts an old dog is often very simple: a hand resting gently on their head, a familiar voice, a quiet afternoon, a slow walk that doesn't have to go far. Only together. There will be days when your dog doesn't need you to do anything. They only need you to sit nearby, reading, watching television, working, or doing absolutely nothing. To them, that can be enough. Because dogs don't measure love by how many gifts you buy. They don't count how many times you take them to the park. What they remember is the feeling of being close to the person they love. One day, your dog may no longer be able to follow you everywhere. But if they could choose one thing, it might simply be this: to stay a little longer beside you. Maybe the greatest gift an aging dog needs is not more things, but fewer lonely moments. The greatest gift you can give. There is something strange about time. When a dog is young, we always believe there will be more of it. Maybe this weekend, maybe next month. I'm busy today. Tomorrow will be fine. We always imagine there will be another day, another walk, another summer. But then, one day, you notice the walks have become shorter, the naps have become longer, and the fur around their muzzle has turned gray without you realizing when it happened. No one knows exactly how many more times they will walk beside their dog, how many more times they will hear those nails tapping across the floor, how many more times they will call their dog's name and see that familiar tail begin to move. That is what makes time precious. Not because we know when the final day will come, but because we don't. Someday, you may open the door, and no one will be there to greet you. But today, that day has not come. Today, your dog is still here, still waiting, still listening for your voice, still wanting one more slow walk, still wanting to rest near your feet a little longer. So don't wait until time becomes regret before you begin giving it freely. And don't believe love has to be something grand. For an aging dog, happiness can be very small. Walking slowly beside you, smelling the morning air, lying in a warm patch of sunlight, hearing the voice they know better than any other, and knowing the person they love most is still there. Maybe that is the greatest gift. Not adding endless years to your dog's life, but making the days they still have feel deeply worth living. Someone once said, "A dog is only part of our life, but to a dog, you are almost their entire life." They don't remember how many toys you bought. They don't remember how expensive their collar was. They don't care what car you drive or how big your house is. What they remember is that you were there, on the morning walks, during the quiet afternoons, when they were scared, when they were tired, when they no longer felt as strong as before. And one day, what stays with you will not be the things you bought for them. It will be the moments you shared. So if your dog is getting older, don't only try to extend their life. Try to fill that life with peaceful days. One more walk, one more gentle touch, one more moment sitting together without needing to do anything at all. Because sometimes, that is what an aging dog needs most. Not a perfect life. Just the chance to grow old beside the person they love most. So if your dog is somewhere in your home right now, give them a few extra minutes today. Those minutes may become the most meaningful part of your day, and perhaps the happiest part of theirs. Before you go, I'd love to ask you one simple question. How old is your dog today? And if they were sitting beside you right now, what's one thing you would do with them before today ends? Let us know in the comments. Your story might remind someone else to spend a little more time with the dog waiting for them at home. If you enjoy learning the science and psychology behind the incredible bond between humans and dogs, don't forget to subscribe to Dog Mind Decoded, because every dog has a story, and together we'll keep discovering them. See you in the next video.